On the Now Morning Show, we continue with so many things to look forward to and so many things to talk about. And of course, Ruckus is handling the next one with Ajala Pilgrim.
Yeah, actually, this morning we're talking to Ajala. He's a marketing, branding, and event manager. So, good morning, Ajala.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you doing this morning? You all right?
Yeah, I'm cool, I'm up a bit early.
Yeah. I know saying this is not your normal kind of hours.
Yeah.
Ajala, can you tell people what you do?
For the past 5 years, I've been into marketing consultancy, digital marketing. I know people always like to hear the story of how I got into digital marketing, which, well, you would be familiar with, stemmed out of What Trouble Is This, which would have been a Facebook page slash brand I created about, we turned 10 next year, so it would have been in 2011.
Okay.
And so for those who don't know What Trouble Is This, I consider to be the first influencer in the Caribbean. We would have been the first Facebook page in the region to cross 100,000 followers, and basically the concept of that page would have been sharing funny videos, sharing memes.
You're already meme gods.
That was the page before all of these other influencers and all of these other pages popped up.
Right.
So through What Trouble Is This, a lot of business owners would have touched base with me because they wanted to know how my page grew so quickly, and they wanted their page to grow that fast. And obviously, this would have been before Facebook had Facebook ads and all of these things.
Right.
So obviously, it would have been organic. So kind of through learning the algorithms and what things people liked is what really steered me into marketing. Because at that time I was doing my business management degree at UE. And it kind of sort of steered me into focusing on marketing. And then eventually I did my master's in strategic marketing as well. And things just kind of fell into each other. And here we are doing digital marketing now.
What inspired you to start What Trouble Is This in the first place?
It was really random. It was just a discussion I was having with friends in UEA. We decided that we wanted to do, I guess, a comedy show. But we really didn't put much thought into how it would go about. But when I got home, I just immediately created the Facebook page, What Trouble Is This with the name, because that's the name we came up with. Obviously, we didn't have, at that time, UE students, we didn't have the time or the resources to actually put on a show or to videotape anything. So at that point in time, meme culture was getting very popular in America with 9gag and all of these brands. So it dawned on me that I have the opportunity now to kind of create something similar, but for Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean region. So a lot of the memes that we did was political memes, and then we did stuff that related in particular to Trinidad and Tobago.
Fantastic. And since then, you've, of course, gone on to open a bunch of different digital marketing companies and event management companies, yes?
Yeah.
And how has the expansion been?
Everything has been a work in progress. I mean, the expansion hasn't been smooth. Obviously, we had a lot of failed ideas and failed concepts. Recently, we actually launched a new one, which would have been Virtual Events TT. And that idea really just jumped out of, obviously, the COVID-19 situation. When we were in the first lockdown, we needed to find, I guess, creative ways of keeping people entertained at home. So a lot of the ideas are things that just kind of happen by the way, and we don't intentionally say, okay, well, let's start this idea now. A lot of things are really just born out of momentum or different situations that would have taken place. But so far, the process has been good, and obviously we're hoping to continue building.
And where do you see this going? I mean, you guys run online, like online is your playground. I know that there's a whole generation of people who basically start playing online and then they realize, wait, I can make money off of this online activity, which is kind of basically what you're saying happened with you.
Right.
Where does it go from here? Do we just stay online, or do we have to merge real life with some of the online things? Or can we just live online?
You can live online if you so choose. Obviously, that's very unhealthy. I think that the online space has become a parallel universe to real life, and you can see it with a lot of people. However, I believe online should somewhat blend or merge into real life scenarios. Because as I said, it's very unhealthy to just live in this digital space and not have some sort of human connection or touch or feel or socializing. Obviously, now that's been difficult because of the COVID-19 situation. But
Right.
I think that human interaction is very important. And bringing your digital realities into the real world is a really good way, especially in terms of expanding it much further than the digital space as well.
Yeah. In terms of branding, Ajala, everybody's very conscious about what you say online and how you say it, especially when you're dealing with people's brands and, their persona. But sometimes we see people jumping out. They would be either very aggressive with their branding. They might take a different slant on it. I know, like, some companies, they would take a more, call it laissez-faire approach, where they would be very relaxed in their means of communication. What informs how you choose to voice your social media presence for a brand?
I think it depends on your market. Who is your primary target market? The persons that I guess you would like to purchase your products or services. So obviously, if you have a younger age group, say 18 to 25, you have the opportunity there to be a little more, free or relaxed in terms of being aggressive or laissez-faire. Obviously, as you go to or cater to a more mature crowd, or maybe a more professional crowd, obviously, you have to be very particular with things you say or things you do. Because as we know, cancel culture.
Well, exactly.
That's something that has been happening in particular in 2020. And our persons have been losing a lot of money by saying bad things or saying things in the wrong way, or it was interpreted in the wrong context. So, yeah.
And how do you deal with bullying online? Because as I am assuming that as you're dealing with digital marketing all the time, you would encounter people who are just trolls for the fun of it. How do you deal with that?
In a personal context or business-wise?
Both.
I think that trolls is just a part of the internet. I think it's a part of real life reality.
Yeah.
Obviously, on the internet, it's a lot more prevalent because behind a computer, you could see a lot of things that you wouldn't see to someone in front of their face.
Yeah.
I think from a business perspective, you'll always get trolls, persons that want to say bad things about your brand, whether you had poor customer service or they are just trolling in general. I think that as a business owner, you need to be very particular of how you engage with those persons, because you don't want to deal with it in a bad manner, and then obviously it spirals into something that kind of gets out of control. And you would have saw we dealt with a situation like that locally during the pandemic a couple of months ago. From a personal perspective, I think there are persons who like that back and forth to go with trolls, and that's fine and well. Some persons definitely can't handle that. So from a mental perspective, I think that if you can't, you should probably avoid those situations as much as possible, because some persons skin are thicker than others, and in Trinidad, picong is a back and forth. So some people have it. It could roll off their tongue or roll off their fingertips, and you are just there trying to catch up to respond to the troll. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ajala, I want to thank you very much for joining us this morning. You are one of our leaders of now, and I think you're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up, and we look forward for more great things coming from you. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Ajala.
No problem.
Take care. That's Ajala Pilgrim, Marketing, Branding, and Event Manager. And he's one of the young people who kind of take over social media and just run with it.